read into the Boogie stuff, right? So let me lay it out a little bit.
Yes.
So Boogie self-released some sort of documentary about himself, when? Like this week. And
oh Jesus!
Before it came out, he tweeted and he was like, "I'm literally shaking because I'm like nervous about what people are going to think about, the documentary that I made about myself." The
tell-all.
The tell-all about myself that I made and uploaded to my channel. And Taylor, what was the thing that was so embarrassing and so terrible that Boogie did?
There was a lot of embarrassing stuff in there. And like, it's not on his channel. It's on some other guy, like a documentarian's channel.
My bad.
And we're like at the end, he was like, Boogie wasn't compensated for this and all that. But like it leads off with like him talking about how he has no money. He's broke. He's like showing his bank account on his phone being like, I've got $2,000 and I owe $170,000 on my house. And then it does like that docudrama style thing where it's like Boogie spent $200,000 over the course of 4 years on hookers, prostitutes, vacations, and sugar babies.
It's called The Dark, Sad Life of Boogie.
Yeah.
Yes. It's another like, and they like had a psychologist on there who's like, this guy's just like addicted to self-pity. Like he frames everything and woe is me and all that. But like there was some stuff in there that like made him look really stupid and shitty. Like the owing $170,000 on your house, following his level of YouTube success after blowing $200,000. Yeah, that's the exact picture. $163,000, whatever it is, on his house. Spending through $200,000 because he's in a bath. There's so much of this video of this documentary. So much of it, he's in a bath.
He stole that from my videos.
Yeah, he stole it from your video with Wings. But
move.
like he was in the bath a lot, which I hated. I wish that the documentarian should like took him out of it. Yeah, because it's jarring. It's the strongest bath structurally on Earth.
David Attenborough explained this. These large marine mammals, when they get in water, they become
Boogie can't swim, but he can run swiftly across the bottom of the basin.
He will never leave the water permanently. He's a fucking hippopotamus.
That's so funny.
North American pity whale.
That's basically it. Yeah, he's just a big fatty, and it like opens up. He's in the bath, and his like 20-year-old girlfriend is like in the bath with him, and they're both wearing swimsuits because they're like doing this and that, and she's like crawling up on him. She's normal weight.
No, describe her though. Like how's she look?
Blonde. There was a part in there that she's like her little backstory was like Jennifer or whatever the fuck is like did not have a father figure growing up, and I was like, that checks out. And
Zach said she's 18.
Oh, I thought it said I think it's 20. Like I'm pretty sure 20 is what it said next to her name in the little
calling Zach a liar?
Maybe I misremembered it and she's 18, but I'm pretty sure it's 20. Yeah, because he's like 47, 48. She's 20. He's a big fatty, and she was like climbing him like she was like someone was going to jump on Boogie's torso, and then she would fly off of his stomach into the lake. Like ambling up onto him like the blob. And like they're like doing a little kissing in the bath, and that was reprehensible. I hated it.
Human fucking bouncy castle.
Yeah, his 20-year-old girlfriend, and she seems like pretty like she has her own litany of issues. Like,
was she fuckable? That's what everyone wants to hear, man. You're skipping around here. Is she fuckable?
Oh,
like, is this a sexy young lady?
This is the best.
She's over 18, right?
Yes. She's over 18. I mean, Boogie's fucking her, so better.
Damn it! I'll have to see for myself.
Like, she is better looking than I could ever imagine someone like Boogie being with.
Would you swipe right on her?
I don't know. Not if there was a bunch of troublesome backstory.
Not if you saw that photo of her climbing on top of Boogie.
Not if I knew that she had been with Boogie
Daddy
and that was her.
Not a damaged goods
backstory. Daddy issues are plural, right?
It seems like
crazy.
Depends on the context.
I'm not going to say anything negative about her. She's just someone in Boogie's like shitty world.
I didn't realize she looked like a victim. Now that I've that's what you say. You say I don't want to sexualize her. frankly, she looks like a victim to me, Kyle. And then I stopped doing that. Now I look like an awful person.
No, you've never looked like a piece of shit on this show ever.
You made it sound like she was like a sexy prostitute.
So anyway, back to Holocaust denial.
Yeah,
let's
go there let's
too,
cool off here for a bit and do a little 1940s math.
Yeah.
See, like
shit.
That's
all right.
her.
Now this is funny as fuck. Okay, leave this up.
Yeah,
this is our background for the rest of the show.
Basically, and they also Boogie he made Magic the Gathering players look really bad, which Magic the Gathering players don't need a lot to do. But one part of the documentary I didn't like enjoy. Like he has his like big gaggle of friends over for Magic the Gathering night or whatever, and they're all like big fat guys who play Magic the Gathering, clearly not used to being on camera. And like Boogie's sitting there talking to him, being like, Joe, we need to start bringing girls around here more. You haven't dated in forever. And Steve, when's the last time you were on a date, man? And it's like these big fat guys who are like his friends who play Magic with him, and it's like this is not
this picture. Can we talk about this picture a little more? First of all, Zach pointed out her toes are as long as fingers. That
I had just seen that.
What is happening with like? It looks like the dog's been photoshopped or cut off there. His belly ends there.
Yeah. Where's her big toe?
They're in front of a green screen, or they're using one of those onboard like background blur things. It looks like to me but
it just did a bad job.
You get the reference,
it makes him it makes him look.
Everybody
like
gets what they're dressed up as, right? I don't
of the Hutt and
he looks like a Pokemon Machamp. Because like he doesn't have a bottom half of his body.
Geodude, so you're thinking of?
Or Geodude, yeah, sorry.
There you go. I would say he's more of a Snorlax vibe.
As I look at her, I think this is a person who probably won't get super fat as she ages.
No,
so win for you, huh?
I wouldn't. I
always say, Woody, hypothetical single you do much better than this. That's all I'm saying.
Oh,
thank you.
Definitely, but like
hairy she'd be hairy as fuck, belly button hair everywhere.
The life I could have lived.
He talked about like sleeping with prostitutes, and there was like even one of those interviews with a prostitute who like had the voice garble thing on like this, like, and she was saying like, I did sleep with Boogie 2988, and you know there are a lot of folds, and it took me quite a while to find his penis, and like,
she didn't say that, did she?
Yes.
There's a lot of folds.
And it took a while to find his penis. And so, like, and it wasn't just prostitutes. Like, I was texting within our group chat to Chiz, and Chiz was like, there's no fucking way he spent $200,000 on prostitutes in 4 years. And I'm like, well, he's like rolling in like sugar babies and vacations and all of that sort of stuff into it. So like I could easily see that, all while owing a mortgage and his YouTube career falling apart, by the way, which is like bad planning for him. And it was like, there were still a lot of parts of it where it was like kind of a woe is me kind of thing. He does like a shrooms trip to try and reset himself or something. And the dude who is like, his shrooms guide was like, I can't believe that the best clips they had of that dude was what they put in there, because the guy literally said at one point, he's like, yeah, you just take these and what it does is it resets yourself. And I'm saying this much more cogently than he did. He's like, and after you're done, all those atoms in your brain, they go back to their original place and kind of reset. And I'm like, yeah, all those atoms reset. Like that's how. No, he said atoms. He said the atoms.
You sound like a science denier, quite frankly.
Yeah, I don't trust the science, and I don't trust that science. That
sounded pretty sciencey.
Yeah, the atoms is a scientific word, but it didn't sell me.
Shaman denial.
Yeah,
you're a shaman denier.
It would like throughout it, he would like go to do something else, and it would show his bank account, and he'd be like, I have to go to Friday Night Magic because it's only $30, and if I don't show up, then people are going to assume I'm broke, and that's too embarrassing. And so I got to go. And then it like shows him leaving with his magic cards, waddling out there. And it shows like a graphic where it's like in red, minus $30, new account balance, 1,906 or whatever.
What the fuck, man? All right. Well, look.
Is he still a friend of the show?
Yes. We don't dislike him. Like
we don't dislike him, but like, what do you say when I'm not going to pretend like this isn't wild and sad.
It's a bit salacious.
And we have like a joke at his expense, to be fair. You know,
Yeah, or 10 or hours of them.
had was it when Sam Hyde was on? Because Sam had that clip of himself on his show or whatever was with that other guy, and the guy's like, "Hey, did you hear that Boogie has cancer?" And Sam just starts dying laughing. He's just like, "Yeah!" He thinks it's so funny. It's like, so that kind of led us down a road of being a little negative, I suppose, when Sam was here.
Well,
Well,
he did have cancer, right? That was real. Am I right?
he
about
did,
that?
but he had basal cell carcinoma.
Oh,
This-
come
this-
on. Me and
the
Woody
same
beat
one
that
that you
cancer.
guys-
Yeah, that
Oh,
cancer's my
he went
bitch.
through like a whole minute where he's like, I'm gonna go through a list of everything that's wrong with me medically, and he was like talking about his medical bills and everything, and like it was one of those broken out lists where it's like, oh, there's a huge amount of stuff on this list, but 80% of it is like a spin-off or a tangent of being morbidly obese. He's like, my blood pressure's high and I'm diabetic and this and that and this and that. And it's
My
like,
triglyceride.
you're my triglyceride. It's like, yeah, but you're splitting into a million
I'm
things.
insulin resistant.
What adds up to like, most of this is being morbidly obese. And then in the middle of the documentary, not even making himself look better, he's like, I'm broke. I'm flat broke. I need 5 chicken quesadillas from Taco Bell. And then he would go and buy all those and eat it, wolf it down.
Wait, was he
Like,
buying fast food? Like
he was buying fast food. Dude, it was a 55-minute documentary. I think he had fast food 5 times.
You know how much a chicken quesadilla? Oh, this would be fun to throw into the trivia. I know every now and then they'll ask a politician a question, a really detached one, and like Hillary Clinton is a good example, like how much a gallon of milk costs. It's a real gotcha question if you don't know how much fucking milk costs. Rewind me. What were we just talking about? The cost of the
Fast food.
a chicken quesadilla from Taco Bell. I went through the other day. I was like, 1 chicken quesadilla, please. That bitch is $8 or something. It was
Yeah.
what? What the fuck?
No wonder
Is that
Boogie's
on
broke.
DoorDash or
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
not,
on
I'm not
DoorDash,
going
yeah.
there. No,
Yeah, well, Boogie was
I
going
am
there.
so fucking addicted to DoorDash.
it's a real vice. I've
It's
got
very
healthy places
expensive.
near me that have really good food. Like that Cuban place I was talking about earlier is just, I love that shit. I usually
worst-
won't order just fast food though.
The worst thing that ever that happens with DoorDash is like sometimes I'll we'll be just doing shit and I'm like, okay, let's order a case of Claws or some, you can order alcohol in Texas. You just have to
Me too.
present your ID to the DoorDasher, and it's happened a few times where they recognize me when we were doing it, like, oh hey man, I'm like, well, time to fucking move.
Like, man,
It
you
happened
really you hate
happened on
going out and
Halloween.
buying burritos, don't you? Like, oh, you got recognized on Halloween?
Yeah, one of these kids came by and was just like, hey, I think I recognize you. I'm like, I have no clue what you're talking about, man. Have a good night. And he came back.
Taylor had a sandwich guy once, I think.
I had a guy at the pizza place recognize me. The only time in my adult life that I've like just been sad in the middle of the day and like pulled over and went into a Pizza Hut, sat in the little shame stool, and ordered a pepperoni for myself. And then the dude behind it, like this cool looking guy, shout out this guy, was like, Taylor from PKA, and I'm like,
I'm surprised
Yup.
you don't get it more often.
I got it a month or so ago at a grocery store. Shout out the meat man, the butcher man there. I was actually
cut you a deal?
I was there with my grandma, and I went up and I was like getting meat from the butcher guy, or this was the deli guy actually. And my grandma wanted to get some stuff, and he's like, "Hey Taylor, I figured you'd come in eventually." And I was like, "Yeah, nice to meet you. Thanks for listening, man."
What
Like,
a weird
oh, you know,
every day.
this is my. If you listen to the show,
I've been
you know
waiting
my,
on
you know my grandma. This is my southern grandma, and my grandma was like, "Oh, you're one of Tyler's listeners. That's so fun." And then like she just got such a kick out of that for like a while. Where she's like,
buy
the
pills?
Couple of
she knows
times.
about the cum pills.
I get recognized in public, and I'm like dirt biking in the woods or something with a friend of mine, and every time they pump my tires for me. They're like, "You're Woody's gamer tag? I can't believe I'm seeing you." Meanwhile, my friends who know me as like a regular asshole are like, "What? Really?"
Well, you'll just go over to Boogie's Twitter and then you'll feel smug again. I'm going to read from it now.
Please.
October
do.
31st. I am scared shitless. It's interesting that he did this around Halloween. So, I had Mike Klum film me at my worst and my best. I admit to my biggest mistakes. I hold myself fully accountable. And if you make it to the end, I hope you can see the hopeful message in it. Link below in response for the premiere. And then it's got like Basically, he's made himself a documentary about himself. He's made an autobiography, and it's called "The Dark, Sad Life of Boogie." Again, he named it, I'm sure. And there he is in this thumbnail, looking real down and out. And there's a countdown.
Isn't that the dark and sad? Isn't that like the Netflix text of some horror show?
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to look like they're on Netflix, like they're a thumbnail next to Tiger King or some shit.
What could he possibly confess to at this point?
Yeah,
well, I don't think we want to play that game.
We were just talking about pedophiles. Yeah, what new information could Boogie possibly like? I feel like he's just going to rehash the stuff that we've watched for a long time.
My guess would be that he's going to sort of open his heart up and share the darkness within, you know, his sort of inner thoughts and you know, issues and all that stuff. Maybe talk about being abused as a child and how that,
if the opening scene is dramatic and then
black and white
is
reenactment.
I hope he's wearing eyeliner during the
I hope that
video.
he's occasionally played by an actor, like, you know, Unsolved Mysteries, and that actor is like, you know, a good 230 pounds lighter than him.
Yeah.
It's just like, is that supposed to be Boogie? That guy's ripped.
Dude, I would do that. Hire someone way taller than me to reenact me. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck Boogie is up to nowadays. What are you doing on YouTube, Boogie?
Well, he had that big boxing windfall.
Well, the big boxing loss, getting smoked
paid
up
either
the ass
way.
by Wings.
Paid either way. He knew he was going to get beaten up. He knew what was going to happen. He may not have known it was going to be quite that bad, but the writing was so on the wall on that one. It's not like when two professional athletes go at each other and look, hey, that guy's job is also knocking people out. It's not like that, you know. It was never going to go any other way. Sometimes two kids go out at the playground and you can run it back 100 times. Billy's going to whoop your ass.
Yeah. Boogie's gonna lose that every time. If I'm Boogie, though, sometimes you think you have a chance. You know what? If this goes right, if I land the first shot, say you're better than me in Mortal Kombat, but somehow I get your health meter halfway down. You know, just caught you unaware.
Yeah, I'll give Boogie the credit that he knew, based on how his first punches were thrown. Like, he was barely able to raise his arms for a sustained amount of time. He wasn't able to raise his arms for the whole fight. He was walking like his gloves had lead in them and they were constantly yanking towards the ground. Like, he knew I have no shot.
This is his goodbye. Well, he's not going to off himself and he's not going to quit online. So goodbye. What does that even mean? You know?
I think it's just a way to get attention, but it's an online shit. Everything's to get attention.
No revenue. It's entirely free. I'm soliciting no donations. It's not about the money. It's my swan song.
Kyle added that.
No. I read that.
I didn't read the swan song part.
Actually, Zach highlighted it in blue.
Final act or public statement. I don't buy it. I don't think this is going to be his final thing.
I feel like this is a well-worn YouTube tactic. The I'm leaving, the teary apology, these are tropes at this point.
Dude, every YouTuber is Michael Jordan when it comes to retiring. There's 5 false starts and takebacks and nuh-uhs, like just constantly going back on it. And this will be no different. Like, what's he gonna do? Like, what other job can he do?
I look forward to fast forwarding through it and
I look forward to you summarizing
interesting
it
points of it. Yeah, I'll have to come back if there's anything interesting. I'll let you guys know. But
I'll watch it for real.
Hey,
I'll check
that tweet about it where he's claiming he's not making any money. That just people don't do things for free.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Like,
why'd you write a musical? Yeah, basically.
Why'd you write a musical, Charlie? Why'd you write the musical? Bull fucking shit. There's always a motive for everything. You don't just do things. You don't make a documentary. You might make a sandwich because you're bored.
You're not going to make a whole
fucking documentary. You know what I mean?
Especially not one that like seemingly is going to reflect very badly on you. Like, if I had a documentary filmed about myself that I was in complete control of, And my response, and my sincere response, not the drum up response, was like, I'm scared shitless. I shouldn't have made up all those horrible things about myself for attention. Like, you'd shut that down. Of course you would. You don't want people thinking that you're actually a drug smuggler, cartel affiliated guy, just because it would get clicks for a day.
No.
And that's what he's going to do. He's going to pump up some stories about how he got a fight in a fight at Circle K and some guy got scared. And that's going to be about it.
He
wanting
apologized and admitted that was untrue and unbelievable on our show later on, right? I think that
he did. Yeah. So we got to forgive him there. Forgiveness.
Yeah, I kind of needed that too, because it irritated me that he came on and just lied to me, the unbelievable lies. I think I was not okay with myself for nodding and being like, what happened next?
And then what?
Yeah,
punked him good. Good.
You got him. And then everyone clapped. And the guy and the retail worker said, and son, you can have all the Charleston shoes you can carry. And so I did. 2 Charleston shoes.
And that's how I got a lifetime supply of gasoline.
Yes.
I think we've only called people out a couple times. Normally you're just trying to be polite, and you certainly don't want to call somebody out and then they show you like a fucking bullet wound scar or where a shark took off. He's like, actually, and he takes his arm off or something. Like, you don't look like it was much of a shark attack, and he wheels back and he's just the top of a person or something.
There'd be no way to come back from that. You'd have to be like, well, it seems like I'm right. You aren't much of a seaman. You got dominated out there. Like you lost,
No wonder your boat sank, mister.
A series sweep, like a bunch of no-hitters from the shark to you. Like that's what happened.
But the one guy who was talking about somebody stabbing him, his dad stabbing him in the stomach with a knife. Like, that's just a serious thing. Yeah. If someone stabs you in the stomach with a knife, there's lots of valuable shit in there that you can't stab with a knife without dying or getting hurt real bad.
Yeah. I don't think we had the time to delve into that very much because we couldn't figure out how to rob a jewelry store. That was the same guy, right? Am I?
I don't think so. I think I remember that being a younger guy.
Two different people. Shit, it blends in. I remember of all those guys, the only one who didn't end up having at least some fun content come out of it was the producer guy. He was the only one who literally gave nothing. Didn't want to talk about anything, didn't want to invest. We are trying to let you explain what your job is in the context of your Netflix series. It's really just a self-insert. This is embarrassing. I'm gonna have to watch this Boogie documentary. I guess it just came out a couple hours ago. The top comment is the fact that this man spent $200,000 on hookers instead of paying off his house removed any sympathy that I could have possibly had for him.
Woody nails it.
Woody, swish. Just
Woody. Oh my God.
You need to open a betting account somewhere real quick.
Tell us more of the future Woody. Out of the West Bank to your FIC.
Yeah, so that man, I guess he spent a lot more on. When people hit a certain level of fat, I assume that sexual shit is almost off the table because it's how mechanically does that how
they
could
lay
you
back
fuck?
They lay back and it all rolls back. See, you imagine that they're just permanently shaped like a bowling pin, but gravity is making. See, here we are back to gravity again. If only Robot Unicorn were here. So I think when they lay back, all of that fat shifts up toward the gullet, and they're able to give access to the undercarriage to these poor young ladies. Well, not poor anymore. These wealthy young ladies.
Yeah, I guess I never assumed Boogie being a big time hooker guy.
You talked about it,
but I didn't know what to take at face value with that guy. I didn't know if he was bragging almost to be like, see,
that?
I can still. I always assumed when he said shit like that, it was like he's just trying to convince us that he's still capable of penetrative sex. He's trying to juice himself up. And I was like, if it is hookers, it's got to be something goofy, like they're putting their feet in his mouth because there's no way his dick is in play.
So I don't think his dick is necessarily in play very often. I bet what he paid for was a lot of weird shit. He talked about pimple popping at one point, or something, and I can't remember if it was a fetish or just he'd like to have a girl who could do that for him. Either way, it was weird. But
I
I
blocked
remember,
that out.
yeah, it's easy to do that with traumatic instances. It was something about paying a little Japanese girl. She had to weigh like 90 pounds or something like that. I don't know if y'all have ever been with a woman who weighs 90 fucking pounds, but that is a little tiny person. That
Not since I was 12.
That's
there you go.
one.
Not
what
since
is-
she was
what is
12,
that?
Woody. Not since she was 12.
What is that by percentage of Boogie's weight? Like
well, what's-
maybe
20%.
18% of his weight.
I mean,
Like a
currently,
tip.
he looks like about quarter these days, probably, right? He looks about 360. I thought he was a slender man in that boxing match.
No, he's so much more than 360 in that boxing.
I can't tell. I really can't.
Yeah,
I
right.
always sucked at the cattle auctions, and I'm no better to this day.
What a great analogy.
Yeah, that big Holstein would come out, and Daddy'd be like, "We think she's 900 pounds." Like, yeah, bid on that one. Nope, 1250. Missed it by a huge amount. Can't tell.
Wait, isn't it worth more at 1250, or am I wrong?
I'm just making things up. To
Okay.
be honest, because of the funniest of it. But what would actually happen is they would come out, and before they tell you what they weigh, we try to guess. Because eventually they're going to be, which is my favorite part of the auction, the fast talking, man. I don't think there's any skill in that. I think I could do it if you gave me an afternoon, and but everybody makes a big deal of it.
Like an auctioneer?
Yeah.
There's no way you could learn it in an afternoon.
I think you're saying, hey,
Yeah, but see, they're saying words. You're going,
I don't think they are. No.
25 pounds,
I'm with Kyle. I think 80%.
he's
of
mixing
the
gibberish
syllables-
in with the price per pound and then an indication of who bid it. He's going to say white cap 95 a pound, bid a 5, bid a 5, bid a black cap 96 cents a pound coming in, big fat about Texas tea with a 5, Texas tea with a dollar pound, Texas tea. Like, he's just making it confusing, making it a fucking like flow so that we all get hyped up and forget what's going on. That's all it is. Otherwise, they'd have people write the numbers down, like $1 from the gentleman in the front, like normal people do.
I think Kyle's 100% right. Kyle, do you know you're right? Like, there's no doubt.
But I've been to those auctions, and that's really the feel I got.
I've been too.
And you can hear like that they're saying that too. Like, I know that when I hear them auction, I can follow well enough to know the price.
I've observed that both of you are like auditorily sensitive. I don't know how to phrase it. Like, you pick up on little things and accents more than everybody and more than me.
I think I'm pretty good at, if someone speaks broken English or has a really strong accent, at making out what they're trying to fucking say.
I learned to speak Indian accent at Cisco. Like, I just improved at it over time to where I could hear that accent nearly as well as my own.
And then now, but you're probably out of practice now.
Maybe I haven't heard a lot.
Or maybe it's like riding a bike. You'd walk right back in and be like, "Oh, Mashmish, you bastard! I'm back in the mix." Or Vikram, whatever their names were, the guys you talked about.
You guys want to go to lunch? Yeah, anywhere I choose, you have no opinion.
It's a price
right there. I'll fucking work.
Anywhere I choose, you have no opinion. Good.
It's fun to see all those numbers just fix themselves from spinach and like chicken and.
That's what I keep telling only Blade.
Testosterone and strenuous labor every day and a good sleep schedule that you force upon yourself.
Oh yeah, the amount you can fix with.
Come on, Blade, you can do it.
Like, he can do it. The amount you can fix with a good diet and activity is like astounding. It's literally most things. Like, if you have some genetic thing, yeah, sure, but like, you can really handle a lot on your own with diet and exercise. So we really should not have come down so jokey when Woody years ago was like, I think that Blade could fix his diet, stop drinking, drink water, and he'd be fine. And Kyle and I arrogantly were like, you fool, that's not how it works. And then it's like, he's still kicking now. So if he would have switched to the Woody recommended diet 4 years ago.
I don't know why you're rebroadcasting this ESPN Classic and rewriting it so you take an L. But the way that it was being phrased at the time was the dude's limbs were rotting off like he was that fucking like king of Jerusalem. Who was that king of Jerusalem with his face melting off that wore the mask and everything? He beat Saladin when he was like 16. Anyway, fucking pieces of him are falling off, and Woody's like, "Come on, man, grilled chicken, Foreman chicken, and some spinach." And I was like, "No, that won't help it."
I was right though.
Penicillin.
He was right.
Well, no. We were talking about his chronic issues and the fact that he was training in the wrong way. His foot was swollen, right? Like
fourth.
That would have bounced back, especially 5 years ago, whenever that was.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think if he had only changed the diet, he'd be in the exact same place he is right now.
Because that's included in the diet.
Well, okay. Well, yeah, if we fix his genetic disease that's been dragging him down his whole life.
But wait, I definitely included the alcohol.
Yeah,
like, it wasn't like
of course, quitting drinking will fix him. He's an alcoholic.
Yeah. But everyone acted like this was a train track, that there were no turns to be made here. He was on a one-way path, and it's you already jumped off the building. There's nothing you can do from this point going forward. It's almost never too late.
Yeah. I think the point, like Woody's point at the time was like he has rotting holes in his leg, but that was because of the beatus, which was because of the diet, but mostly the sugariest booze available in retail stores. And so it's like those would heal if he just didn't do that stuff anymore and gave his body like time to recoup.
Yeah. Heck, Boogie, who if I had to guess, I'd say his body's worse than Blade's. It's hard to tell. It's worse on the outside, but the inside.
Yeah, he's
anyway.
On the inside.
When Boogie went through a bit of a health kick and lost 150 pounds or something, that thing where he pressed on this, he pressed on the side of his leg and it was like a sponge that retained that depression. Yeah, it got better. There's a name for it. I have like
lymphedema, I think.
That's it.
Right?
Is that it? Okay.
Yeah, it's fat people's skin melting off disease.
Yeah. And he's also
sloughing off, if you prefer that word.
It wasn't skin, right? Under the skin, he was retaining this fluid that would you could press your hand in it and leave a hand impression.
I really thought skin was sloughing off. That I must have misunderstood.
That's Blade, I think.
That's Baldwin the Fourth again.
Yeah, we need to be on the lookout for that Boogie documentary that's dropping, don't we? That he apparently made himself.
Was it? Did it drop last week?
What do you think he admits to that's so repulsive? And you can't say the thing we all believe.
Wait, I don't know what thing that is.
Neither do I, but it's fun to say that like that.
Mine was going to be that he has a lot more sexual thoughts than he let on, and he has to be, I don't know, he pays for it or whatever to make these things happen.
Sexual thoughts, or you mean sexual actions?
Actions, desires, etc. I guess I just sort of whitewashed it, but I bet he's a much more sexual person than he lets on.
You'd be a good defense attorney.
And he makes that happen through like sugar babies and escorts and things like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, that's not embarrassing at all, because I think it's gonna be something much more awful than that. Okay. So, because like having like sugar babies and like lots of pussy that you pay for is kind of like what men do when they have money. So it's like, looking good on you, dude. It's a real he's like, oh, I can't believe I just admitted all of this. Like that sounds like you like to eat peanut butter out of cows' buttholes or something, you know?
I wonder what like if you're a real baller, right? Make yourself a Formula One driver, Elon Musk, whatever. Yeah. How do you leverage that money into pussy? Because I bet it's not. Know?
Because you don't even need
to but let me
that.
Guess first. I don't think it's going to be straight up, hey, you know, you're the fucking most baller girl around. I'll give you $12,000 a night. I doubt it's that. I bet you do. Okay.
I know it's that.
I thought it was going to be a little more experienced based, a little more like, you know, you put in some time and then when you need a car, I make it happen.
Fuck that. No, that's crazy. That's throwing the farm away for the milk. Like, no.
Well, you were talking about 12 grand a night. Cars like 3 nights.
It depends what you're buying, first of all, like, and who you are, right? Like, if you just want a pretty girl that you could have sex with when you want to, like, you don't need any amount of money for that, right? But what those Saudi princes will do is they'll get virgins off of Instagram that are like bad bitches and take her virginity for an amount of money, where they fly her out to Saudi Arabia. Like, that's a documented case. Like, if you've got enough money and clout on
Instagrams are being slutty that are virgins.
All of them. Well, she was like
none of them, Kyle.
Oh, okay, well, you dropped the virgin thing on me at the last second. I wasn't prepared for that. But no, like
you have first.
But if you have clout and money and that sort of thing, and you're active on social media, then I mean Instagram will be the go-to, but any of those is literally full of women who are trying to have sex with you. Now, some of them might be like gold diggers who are trying to like steal your condoms, but that's the waters you're swimming in, right? You know, you got to be able to, but there's lots of them who are on there just absolutely ready to be blown somewhere or taken somewhere. Just slide into the DMs of the top 25. Go on Instagram, find 25 women you'd like to fuck, offer to fly all of them to Dubai for a week, and pick the 8 that respond. From the 8 that respond, you know, it's as easy as that.
Clout in any sphere.
Women are prostitutes.
Way lower.
Like all women are prostitutes.
Yes, yeah, 100%.
They're called stay-at-home moms. Jesus, Kyle. It's 2023.
Those are retired prostitutes. Yeah, back in the stable now. You know?
Yeah,
not out on the field running around as much.
Here on PKN.
And men are whores too. And men are whores too. Like if somebody was hitting us up on Twitter, like, "Hey, how would you like to come to Hawaii? Like I'm a woman who's 10 years older than you, but good looking. And how about I just put you in my villa and we have sex every night? And have you ever seen the white sand beaches of Tahiti?" And you'd be like, "Fuck yeah, baby, let's go." Are you flying me? I'll ride, coach. She's like, "No, we're in my plane, dummy." You'd melt. You'd absolutely
I'd
be
be so in if some old bitch was like, "Let's travel the world."
You know,
Kyle added 10 years. I'm trying to like think of the different gaps. Like if I'm 20, dude, sign me up. She's probably just better at sex. If I'm 50, what am I getting into here?
Into a villa in Tahiti.
Yeah, I need some pics.
Imagine you can't get your own villa.
Dude, I'll suck
now
some
the answer is yes.
Arab princes. Like I thought you were going to go even harder because like it's an obvious decision for me if it's an old biddy who just like is female. I was thinking like, yeah, I would go fool around with a Saudi prince, I guess.
For sure.
Like if that's what he wanted me to do, he would let me.
Sure.
He would let me drive his cars. He could dress
he's
me
got
up
like
in
a pet
comfortable
tiger in the
robes.
backyard.
Honestly, I don't think I'd do it for that. Like for an experience. I mean, for cash. Let's talk. Everything's for sale.
But
for but if we're talking about private jet and camel rides, you can't fuck me for that.
Well,
that's true.
What's going to happen is she's at some point she's going to say, "Man, I would. That's incredible, Prince Abdullah. Your villa in your home country is amazing. Oh, this and that. But I have a job here, of course. I can't just leave work. I have rent. I have this. I have that." And she'll lay out about $20,000 of things that she needs to pay for, and Prince Abdullah will be like, "Ha ha ha, a pittance." You know what I mean? Like there's going to be a cash bonus at the end of this mission.
How about this? Even tougher than the princes. Kim Jong-un DMs you. He wants to fool around with Kim Jong-un.
Oh no.
He's got lots of money, lots of resources.
Okay.
And he wants
What
you
is
to
the problem
fly
with
out.
Kim Jong-un? Because he's more desirable than a prince to me.
You think so? Because
I picture the prince to be fatter and grosser and very hairy.
No.
Kim
All those
Jong-un's
guys are
low
like-
T. He doesn't even need to shave. He's pretty much hairless.
You're so wrong about all this.
Oh, I feel like a
Oh,
lot
my
of those
goodness.
Arab princes are in like pretty excellent shape.
Yeah, like I mean, you should have watched. If you watched the Ngannou fight, you'd have seen they're all a bunch of slender guys. You know, brown skin, got those flowing robes. I get down with that dude. Kim Jong, on the other hand, I mean, he's got that big pleasure squad, right? He's supposed to be super potent.
Yeah.
You want this guy grinding on you? What?
Zach,
you know what?
is this
Eat
a
my
good
ass
picture?
is in North Korean. You're gonna find out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because
Wait. See, I was picturing more of an Iron Sheik type fella. Not quite that strong, but you know.
No, you're just
that
picking a
body
scary
type.
Iranian.
See,
Like, this guy right here.
I don't want to lick his butt.
I mean, he's
No.
not into that. That's what's that word they use?
analingus.
I know what. Fuck you.
Wait,
Anyway, I picked
for
the
it.
Arab Prince because he's going to show me a much better time. Kim Jong country doesn't even have electricity. I bet he's got some cool like houses and palaces and shit. This guy could take you around the world. You'd be like, you know, Saudi, I'm getting nosebleeds here, honey. Could we go somewhere a little more humid? We'll be in the Amazon tomorrow. You know what I mean? This guy
You
has
make a
infinite money.
strong point.
No,
We're gonna
That was my
an
point.
hour a day is all we need in the bedroom because I get shit done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, but that
and-
was my point, though. Is obviously you'd rather get with the Saudi guy because he has more money. But if you're doing this, push it to the limit. Who's kind of the kookiest world leader? I'm not worried about the electricity thing with Kim Jong Un because he has.
I really think it's
electricity.
unfair to make this gay as well. Like I feel like you could pick an undesirable woman.
Okay, the
I feel like
queen
it's a better
as she
comparison.
exists now.
Sign
You want
me
me?
up.
You have to fuck the dead
I'll
queen.
lick her butt over that prince.
My God.
Yeah, yeah, that guy's hairy. Like, if you're averse to hairy assholes, you'd have to be like, the king of Italy, the Arab prince. I'm not sold on these guys. Oh, the Greek lord of Athens. Yeah, some Greek.
I need
guy.
a hairless society. What does the leader of Singapore
Korean.
look like?
Yeah, I feel like Koreans lead the world in hairlessness.
Well, Koreans have small penises too, which is really better for my butt.
That sounds
Not the
bigoted
one
to
that
me.
wants you.